Okay, greetings Belgrade, dobro veče.
Dobro veče.
Okay, I will introduce our team. So, Ilon Nakan,
Hvala.
Hakim Navid, you want to stand up, please? Please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Titas Krmavicius, Jarod Pamatmat, Utkarš Kanjar, Kristofer Gu, Alex Velikanov, Mr. Dani Raznikov, Gil Popilski, Kasper Drozdovski, Angela Ribas, David Verces, Zurab Javakhadze, Denis Kadrić, and Mariam Danilija.
All right. Okay.
Okay, now you.
Okay, thank you. Our new captain and Grandmaster Nikola Nestorovic will now introduce our team.
Hello, I'm sending big regards to that. So current result is 5-5. So I'm sure that. Here, okay, thank you. So I'm sure that this match will be interesting as always. So this is my first time to be a captain. I'm sure that this will be interesting experience for me. I hope a successful experience. So the first board on our university, Marko Nenezic. Second board, Stankovic Miloš. He's here. Drašković Luka. Vučinić Vojko. Ratković Miloje. Ratković Miloje. Nestorović Lazar. Luković Vladimir. Šarenac Ivan. Šarenac David. Potpara Nikola. Radosinović Lazar. Velikić Adela. Blagojević Tijana. Kiprovski Branislav. And Eric Jovan. So that's it. Thank you.
You disconnected your camera. Very good, very good.
No, it's okay.
Evo stigo rektor. Njihov rektor. Pozdravljaju se. Njega smo čekali.
All right. All right. We're going to have a quick cheer from our cheerleaders to get this whole thing started in the right mood for the tournament. So the UTD cheerleaders and T-Mock, our mascot.
Okay. To su poranili, to nije velike programa. Šta kaže poranili? Da, nije, program je to bilo kasno. To se govori.
Orange, white, colors, let's fight. Orange, white, colors, let's fight. Orange, white, colors, let's fight. France, on your feet. Watch the signs and repeat. C-O-M, E-T-S. C-O-M, E-T-S. C-O-M,
E-T-S.
Come fans on this side, yell orange, orange. Come fans on this side, yell white, white. Come fans together, let's yell orange, white, orange, white, orange, white, orange, white. UT, Dallas, UT, Dallas, UT, Dallas.
All right. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. All right. Back to Belgrade.
Thank you very much. It was a very nice pleasure for us to hear the cheerleaders, but we heard Belgrade instead of UTD, so we were also here very fond of them. So, considering the introducing speeches, I will now give the stand for our Vice Rector, Professor Živan Lazovic, who will address the audience here in Belgrade and the audience in Dallas. Please.
Thank you very much, Miloš. Well, it's a really great pleasure to welcome all of you and my warm greetings to all participants in this 11th match. It is a long tradition, and now with this 11th match we are opening the new decade. People are used to say it's important to participate, but even it's much more important to win. And I wish the better team to win this match. Thank you very much again, and my greetings to everyone. Thanks.
Thank you. Go to Dallas.
All right, now introducing our new president, Dr. Richard Benson, will be Associate Provost, Dr. Abby Kratz.
Good afternoon. If you're here with us in Dallas, at UT Dallas, and good evening if you're joining us from Belgrade. I'm delighted to welcome you to our special location on the internet and to the 11th Svetozar Gligoric Transatlantic Cup contest between the University of Texas at Dallas and the University of Belgrade. It's my privilege today to introduce you to our new president, President Richard Benson, who will make the opening remarks for UT Dallas. Dr. Benson was inaugurated as the 5th president of UT Dallas just a week ago. He has come to UTD from the highly esteemed Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. You might know it better as Virginia Tech. There he served as Dean of the College of Engineering for 11 years. Previously, at another distinguished American institution, the Pennsylvania State University, he served as the head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering and then as head of a newly created Department of Mechanical and Nuclear Engineering. And I understand he played a principal role in engineering that merger. Please forgive the pun. Couldn't resist. In addition to being an accomplished leader in higher education, this is his 27th year as an academic administrator, our new president has a distinguished reputation as a committed educator, an honored researcher, and a champion of diversity in higher education. In addition, like so many scientists, engineers, and mathematicians, President Benson also is a musician, and he has already admitted that he has played a little chess. We're delighted Dr. Benson is here today to welcome you to UT Dallas and the innovative 11th annual Internet contest where some of the world's best collegiate chess players, all students at the University of Texas at Dallas and the University of Belgrade, will compete to capture the Gligoric Transatlantic Cup. Dr. Benson.
Thank you so much for those very kind comments. Good afternoon and good evening. I am just delighted to be here. As you've heard, I'm quite new. As president, I take great pride in the chess prowess that we have here at UT Dallas. I can assure you that whatever level I've achieved, it doesn't come anywhere close to what you folks are capable of doing. It'll be so exciting to watch this. I understand that the series is tied 5-5. So I wish our friends at the University of Belgrade all luck, but not too much luck. I certainly am rooting on the comments. This will be a lot of fun to watch. I want to thank both the students here as well as at Belgrade for representing your universities so well. It is always so nice when the face of the university is not old guys like me, the faculty and the staff, but the students who do really incredible things. Things that stand out even on the international level, on the world stage. So again, to our friends at the University of Belgrade and to my fellow UT Dallas comments, have a great match. I'll be watching with the greatest of interest. Take care.
Back to Belgrade.
Okay, we would like to send our special thanks to your president of university, especially when he is a mechanical engineer. And we would also maybe wish for not these elections you have in 5 days or whatever, but for the next elections to also be a candidate for the president of the USA, because he will be a better candidate as a mechanical engineer than the other two candidates are now. So we hope that this match with Dallas, with us, of course, will be maybe one of the first successes or losses of the university against in some match. Okay, thank you once again. We do not have any representatives, other representatives here, so we are practically ready for the start of the match. So maybe we have some more addresses, please do that.
Okay, thank you. Next speaking will be the Mayor Pro Tem from Richardson. That's where our university is located, Richardson, Texas, and that's Mark Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Stallings. It's always good to be here to represent the city of Richardson, where the University of Texas at Dallas is located. And we're very proud of this university and its long history in chess. And it's my privilege today, as I did last year, in a winning speech, and we are going to continue that this year. I know the Comets are ready. We're going to fly high. We're going to do our part. I've watched them in training. They've been doing their their push-ups and everything as they get ready for this great achievement today. And we're going to repeat, because that's what we like to do here in Texas. We are a great place for repeating winners, and that's what we're going to do today. So it's the Comets to the top, and so thanks you, and now on with the games.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. We are waiting for some representatives to come here, but they are late, obviously, because we have understood 7 o'clock, not 6:30 according to our time. So maybe we should make a small break if we want to be sharp at 7.
Okay.
Or you have some more suggestions.
We can have international arbiter Frank Guadalupe review the match rules.
Okay.
Hello, Belgrade. I'm pleased to be back here for I think about the 8th time out of the 11th. So always good to be back, and I look forward to it. As far as match rules, of course, the players know is game in 40 minutes and 5-second increments. Obviously, all three of the rules apply, except as amended for internet matches. And if you have any problems with the connection, please be sure to tell me or tell Mr. Salinas immediately. Okay?
I would add that there's an international arbiter in Belgrade also, but the purpose of the international arbiter fundamentally is to protect the interest of the other team. All right, they're here to make sure everything is conducted properly at this location, and Belgrade will do the same thing for UT Dallas.
Okay, we will just also maybe use the opportunity to introduce to you your new representative, is international arbiter and FIDE Meister, Vladica Andrić, who is also the docent, that means assistant professor at the Faculty of Mathematics of University of Belgrade. So he will just make a small address to you. Hello there. Hello there. Ne vidimo nas, možda samo So Vladica will be controlled from your side here, and he is a very, very proficient in chess, because he is a very good person for calculating or federating, and he is as a mathematician. He studied the system completely and had published several articles about federating and shortcomings and the advantages in comparison, let's say, with the tennis ranking which is not let's say, justified when we see players who are playing against each other, just defending the number of points from tournament to tournament, not from player to player. Okay, but I think we are ready now for the start, but somebody is coming. Okay, Injic is coming, sorry. He's coming directly to the stage. Yes. And he will address the player, wishing our players a success. Just a second.
What to say? Good luck to Belgrade or what? They're kind of, I'm not playing for UTD this year. Okay, thank you and good luck.
Ne vidiš tebe, ali oni vide tebe. Ko želi njihovim učesnicima, tvojim saigračima.
Good luck for UTD players and let's fight.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
We cannot see your camera, it's disconnected.
No, the camera is now redirected to us, so don't worry, everybody is here, so. But we have the problem with the picture from your side to us, so the picture is frozen for 5 seconds and then to another frame, from frame to frame. Okay, so Vice Rector is also waiting for the beginning. We will make first moves, I believe, in a few minutes.
Ceremonial first moves.
But maybe you have some more addresses, sorry?
We can take photos of first moves right now.
Okay, we can make first move, but we'll start sharp at
1.
7 or sharp at 1, yeah?
Yes, okay, we'll go ahead and take pictures now, okay.
We'll have a picture. Povuci ti prvi potez na neku šalu. Evo, može i prolikovi su došli. Ajde, prolikovi, dođite da povučete prvi potez. A potez nema veze. Ajde se, potez potez. Pojedi igrač, traže, povučete taj potez,
Try not to screw it up here.
Angel, Abby will do it. Who's on board 6? Okay, you right here? Oh, all right, here's another first move. Look at the camera, guys. Okay, okay, I think we're about ready to go. Frank, you want us to, we'll step down? Okay, turn off the sound.
Okay, please.
Dear students and dear colleagues from both universities, in the name of the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, I have the great pleasure to tell you welcome in our faculty and our university. We participate now one little opening ceremony of the traditional chess match between two universities. I want to tell thank you all people who participate in organization of this traditional match. Also, all chess players are going good match and let the better team win today. Good luck and thank you.
Okay, excellent. Excellent, thank you, Professor Semanic, for the name of our vice dean. So now we start.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes, we could start and then turn off sound.
Okay, good luck to everybody. We will see who will take the lead this year. Okay, starting the match, please start. Who is white? Start with moves.
All right, so this is my game from the Belgrade match against the Serbian player Nestorovic Lazar. He started with e4. I played French. d4, d5, e5, c5, c3. And now I played knight c6, which is probably the most popular move. In Vityugov's book, he recommends to start with queen b6 in order to prevent bishop e3, which happened in the game. To prevent the option, I don't find it risky for black, so I don't have a problem starting with knight c6. Bishop e3, after that, there are a few replies for black. Can go f6, queen b6, knight e7, knight h6. I decided to go bishop d7. I thought he wouldn't be prepared for that. He played knight f3, the most natural move. And now again, there are a few moves for black, still queen b6, still knight h6. I decided to play rook c8. Now, he played in the game queen d2, which I think is inaccurate. I think the main move should be dc in this position, the only one that is worth considering.
Which move? Can you show?
dc, yeah, we'll go over dc. After that, I plan to play queen c7, bishop d4, knight e7. He can start with knight e3, to develop another piece, force me to play a6. And now b4, protecting c5 in case after knight g6. I played knight g6, and now very the accurate move for white in order to get the advantage is bishop e2, which is a bit counterintuitive because first we put the bishop on d4 and play b4 and trying to hold on to the pawn, and then we decide to allow black to capture.
Why not bishop d3 instead of b4?
Bishop d3?
I'm a classical player.
Okay, I think I can play knight g6. I think I can try take with the f pawn. H is also possible, but
Take with h1, then knight g4, b6. And two bishops.
it's also possible. But f pawn also has its advantages with bishop e7, castle, maybe rook f5, g5.
Wait. Why is the pawn up now, yeah?
Yes.
Thank you. You can move on.
Oh, I'm glad you can count. No, you didn't prove any point. In fact, your bishop on d4, it stops you from playing always c4.
I can just play h4. I can even play h4 with white, right?
H4?
Something.
Bishop b7?
I don't know. And then what?
I play castle. Then, I mean, according to what you plan to do, but have rook f4, rook f5.
But still, h6 looks more logical.
No.
Okay, g6 is also
like
possible.
FG is much better. Come on.
It's also possible. There are possibilities.
So FG, like your game is so easy, just like bishop e7, castle, rook f5, rook f8. It just looks good for you. I don't like this. But you have to push probably f6 to get some. Because now what, h4? Maybe not h4.
Can still
Bishop
try.
e7, maybe rook h3.
Maybe not f6.
Okay, but I don't do that.
How do you want to play here? What is rook h3? Hmm.
I don't like it. So, okay, if it's possible, then yeah, maybe it's good. But
Why not f6?
you need to.
Yeah.
Rook queen e2. After rook h5, you want to play simply g4, yeah?
Maybe you can sacrifice. Take on f5.
Okay, it's okay then. Try.
This is very bad for black.
No, man, just FG is like good for black, I think. FG and
It's
Okay.
similar to Caro-Kann e5, c5.
Yeah, it's the same basically.
But it's like much
No,
worse.
But FG is like much better for black. What?
Yeah, but then what? h4, knight c2, and
What?
knight e3. Knight c2, whenever we play rook f5,
What FG?
yeah, and then I just play.
Where do you play knight c2? After h4?
I mean, it doesn't matter. h4 is good anyways. I think
Okay.
it is.
You would
The knight
play-
c2 something.
Castle?
Yeah, and then what if I just castle?
Okay, man, this looks disgusting.
Um,
This looks so bad.
Okay, but there's like I don't take the pawn back, but even if I simply start playing, I don't know, maybe h6, bishop e8, trying to push g5, bishop h5. I don't know if I start. Yeah, it's compensation. I don't take the pawn back. You like keep the pawn, but
Start b4, e4, b5, like pretty quickly, you know.
Yeah, I don't see why. I would prefer
but
white.
b5 is not such a big threat because I always have knight a5 after that, and then c5 will be weak. I don't know. I think it's playable for black. You can also try to protect the pawn after b4 with queen e2, and then in the future try to either play queen e3 and develop the bishop, or g3. And then bishop e7, I thought, h4, h5. And now if g3, there is a very strong move that I didn't see for black, which is b6. It's a computer's move, but proves to be very strong. After cb, there's knight d4, and in case of queen a6, bc, and e5, pawn is hanging.
Can you show this?
Yeah. So in case of cb, knight d4, take the queen. So at the moment, if we calculate the pawns, black is pawn down. Okay, you can say a6 is weak, but in fact, the bishop pair and the c3 pawn are enough for black, for the compensation. With f6, we immediately take the center, so this is not a problem for black. So bishop e2, take on c5, and then continue with bishop e2 as the right way for white to get the advantage. But he played queen d2 early on, which allowed me to get a very comfortable position immediately. I just take bishop b4, knight e3, and then knight a5. Yeah, so c3, I have the bishop on b4, feels very comfortable. I can always take the bishop on f1 with knight c4 in the right moment. So he decided to play h4, which I didn't think was a good move, because I don't see a real attack here. I just simply developed knight e7, and he continued with the same approach, rook h3. I don't know, maybe he thought he somehow protects the c3 square, but I continue knight f5, bishop f4, and now what do you think black should do? I mean, it's not a question of one move, but there is one move that is the best in this position.
H5?
Yeah. So I want to secure the knight on f5. I continue h5. Okay, I let him have g5 square, but the knight on f5 is just more important and keeps the rook on h3 out of the game for many moves in the future. He played rook c1, very natural move. And now I didn't play the most accurate move. So as I mentioned, there's always knight c4 in the air, which I played now. Queen b6 was better because I put pressure on d4 and I wait for him to develop the bishop and then play knight c4. So I played knight c4, which is not a bad move, but not the best. Take, and it's already easy to see that black is just better here. There's no attack for white. It's not clear what the rook does on h3. So he played a3, and now I had to decide what to do. Again, it's a choice between a couple of good moves. I was considering bishop a5 and bishop e7 in this position. According to computer, really likes bishop c3 for some reason, but I didn't even think about it. So yeah, I had to decide where do I want to put the bishop. I decided to go on e7. He played bishop g5, looks very natural, tried to exchange the dark-colored bishop. And again, I had to decide whether I let him exchange the bishops.
Yes, yeah, just real quick, I was wondering why the computer liked bishop c3. Like, what was the...
Okay, computer just liked to take, and castle. And then try to play quickly queen b6 and rook c8. And
the king is on e1 is pretty...
Yeah, I mean, there's no attack. You cannot attack h5 pawn. And always if you take on c4, then dc is obviously very good. Bishop followed by bishop c6. And if you don't take queen b6, rook c8, and there's no tactic, but simply just positional advantage. So a3, I went to e7, bishop g5, and I didn't want to allow him to exchange the bishops. I played f6. He went back to e3, queen b6, king f1 he played, which looks very natural. Try to get the king out of the center. I decided to castle. Now trying to play rook c8 in the future, connect the rooks. King, okay, now king on f1 on the f file with the rook. There's always the idea of knight e3 and fe, so king g1. And I decided to continue with rook c8.
So he wants to play king h2 probably, right?
I thought that his idea is to play in the future g3, king g2, rook h1 actually to connect the rooks, but. So, okay, he took on f6. Now I had again to take a decision whether I want to take with the bishop on g or the pawn. Although the rooks are far away from the king and he has a rook on h3, I didn't think it's really dangerous for me to take with the pawn, so I took with the pawn on f6, covering the squares e5 and g5. Computer also likes bishop f6. There's nothing wrong with that, simply a matter of choice. Queen e2, eyeing the h5 pawn with the idea of knight d2 and attacking the h5 pawn. So now very common idea in French, very common maneuver, bishop e8. My idea in this position was simply to play bishop g6, king f7, and just control the important squares. He played rook e1, trying to put pressure on e6. I continue with bishop g6, knight d2, rook c6, knight a4. In the game, I played without thinking, without hesitating, queen c7. A very strong move here was queen a6, attacking e2, and trying to exchange queens. And queen d1 is impossible because of rook c1. So queen a6 was stronger. Queen c7 is also a normal move. He played b4, b6, and now knight b2, trying to play knight d3, bishop a4, and knight a4, rook c3, knight e3. I want to prevent him from occupying f4 square, so bishop d6. And there are no tactics always with the e6 pawn. So he played knight b1. We're getting close to time trouble. Queen d1. King f7. There's no rush for me. King h1.
No rush.
Rook a2. Want to play queen c2 and exchange queens. Knight c1. Trying to gain time, but in reality, I just lost time. So eventually, I obviously didn't want to repeat the move, so I let him have an extra tempo. He played king g1, and now, I played queen c4 with the idea that after bishop f4, I can take, and rook c1. And when I saw this, before I played queen c4, I knew this was already winning for me because I simply win a piece very soon, and forced the exchange of queens, and he has lack of harmony in his position. So now it was just a matter of technique, and it didn't require a really hard one. But the game lasted a few more moves, but he just resigned very soon.
Okay, so guys, I'll show you the game which I played against Velike Chadela. I was playing with black pieces. To be honest, I actually tried to prepare for the game, but whenever I saw that she was playing everything from c4 to knight f3, I just gave up. So she played e4. I played Sicilian. I always play Najdorf, so it was not an exception. And she played bishop e3. Here I usually play knight g4, but then during my game I realized I didn't remember lines. After bishop g5, h6, bishop goes to h4, g5, bishop g3, bishop g7, that's all I remembered. So I decided it was not a good idea to go into this line.
Weren't you afraid of bishop c1 here, maybe? You make a quick draw?
No, I actually hoped that she would do that, but yeah. So I decided to play e5.
Which one do you think is stronger, e5 or knight? I want to learn just.
So here I played bishop e7. She played f3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think bishop e6 is the right move here, and after after queen d2, black plays castle or knight d7.
Or knight d7. They're both main lines, you know.
Knight d7 is g4, no?
h5.
h5.
No,
It's not. Isn't g4 not the move of knight d7?
Just don't play knight c6.
No, it's b5.
Okay, anyways, I skipped this whole bishop e6 part and
then b4.
went away and played knight b7. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kasparov's main weapon, right?
I don't know. So, queen d2. That's what she played, and I think I should have castled here. but I played b5. So I thought she would play a4, and I was going to play b4. And then knight d5, knight takes on d5, queen d5, rook b8. And computer here suggests this move. I don't know if it's like a good move.
So what happens if
I'm not sure.
What happens if she plays a4 after knight bd7?
Even here?
Yeah, do you consider what? a4
Instead of queen d2?
a4 and then I don't know.
Then I would castle.
B6.
And
b6?
and then attack g4.
And then
G4, H6. What, man, you cannot castle anywhere, are you kidding me?
And then queen d2.
Why would you play
Bishop
H6?
B7. No, this is much better.
Then castle, and what do you do?
Okay, you have A4. If you castle, I'm not gonna play with you anymore.
Okay, no. h4 then.
h4.
Knight H7.
Short castle is better. Knight H7.
No. g5.
What?
g5, sir.
I don't look at those attacking moves.
Okay, let's go back to the game. So she decided to play. She played g4. And I played bishop g5. She castled b4. And here I thought that she would either play knight a4 or knight e2 with the idea of knight g3 and knight f5. But this never happened, and she went to b1, which I don't think is a good idea.
But it could happen next time, maybe.
So I played a5 with the idea of a4. She played g5, which is like a natural move. The only move I had here was knight h5. She
should have been nice and play knight g8. I mean, just return.
Bishop b5. She pinned my knight, so I castled. She took on d7. I took, and she played knight c5. So I cannot take on c5 because of...
Oh, big tactic.
You know. And I had to go to c7. She took my bishop.
Can you go to c8?
She would still take on b7.
Just transpositions.
So queen b7, queen d5. I actually was considering taking on d5, and after rook d5, I wanted to play f5. But then I decided to keep my queen, and then I went to c7. She played h4, rook c8. I'm threatening checkmate, so she played rook h2. Nah, I played a4. I wanted to either play b3 or a3 at some point. And then she played a3 to stop my pawns. So I took on a3. Oh, never. I didn't. I took it on the next move. So rook b8. I also had rook a5. And if she goes to d3, I have d5. She has to take, and then I go to d8, and this pawn on d5 is under attack. I don't think she can protect it. And then I didn't play the rook a5. I played rook b8. She took on b4. I took, and she played knight a3 with knight, which I thought that she wanted to play knight b5 on her next move. So I went to b8 to not let her play knight b5, and then also attack. I'm attacking the b2 pawn. So here, if she plays c3, I just take on b2, and then after she takes, I take on c3. I actually saw this whole line, even though we were in the time trouble. So she decided to go to a2, and I played rook b3. So I'm attacking this bishop.
That's beautiful.
So if she plays rook e2, then I play knight g3.
Oh, we have to check this math on some computer.
Yeah, I know. So she didn't have time at all. She didn't have time to calculate any variations. So she decided to go to G1. And I wanted to take on F3 so badly, but then I decided my knight on H5 was more important than her pawn. So I played knight F4.
Then you just have to choose.
So she went to B1. Now my rook is under attack, so I just went ahead and took that pawn.
Can you take on B2?
Maybe not
In D5.
Here?
Yeah.
Maybe D5.
Rook B2, King B2, Rook B2.
Give her a chance.
In D5.
How did you see it?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. And I have to take, right?
I don't even jot it. Okay, maybe. Okay.
Queen B7.
Queen B7, knight D5.
And knight
No,
D5
no,
and
should be lost. Oh,
attack.
what? It's lost totally, yeah? You have no.
Yeah.
Knight B1.
Fighting.
So I didn't take on B2, I took on F3.
D3.
And then she played knight C4.
C4.
Rooks, yeah. So A3. She played rook D2 to attack my D6 pawn. And then I played rook C3. I think she had the only move is knight A3.
Do you think it was one of your best games ever? Maybe? Do you consider?
Save your questions for Q&A. T5. So I wanted to open the diagonal for my bishop. And then this knight is under attack on A3. So she played B3.
How do you value white's queen?
I played D4. So as I mentioned, we didn't have much time. So she played bishop H2 to attack my knight on F4. I guess it's a better. It's better. And then I played rook A8 to pin her knight. And then she has only move, which I didn't. And I thought I was winning. So she has this knight B5 move. So I had to go to B7. And then she took my rook, I took her queen. And that's the position we got. She took my knight, I took it. I don't think any of our moves are accurate since this, like after this point, because we didn't have time. So, well, here actually I was scared that I would get checkmated somehow after C3 and some, you know. But yeah, it never happened. So here I played H6 and I was so happy that I had, wait, huh?
With your technique it should be just like...
Why not H5? Push the pawn.
Yeah, I know. I'm not as good as you are. She tried to block my pawns with her knight, but didn't help. She had to go back and then I played her and she couldn't stop my pawns. Look at this pawn chain I had.
Don't finish.
I'm pretty sure I could have won earlier, but I played C3, F3, and then she had to go away.
Didn't you feel sorry for her?
E2. I think she tried really hard to lose this game, otherwise I mean, it would be unclear. So I managed to promote the queen, so she resigned and I won the game, which doesn't happen really often. Thank you.